Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report for Monday, August the 3rd, our first show in August. I'm joined again by Daniel Laprade today. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, everyone. And it's, if you are off today, it's,
enjoy.
A quasi-holiday. It's not going to be super hot today. I don't have the best news for your weather, but it's going to pick up later in the week again. We're going to see some heat. So.
Yeah, and it looks like right now there won't be a press conference with Doug Ford. Normally there's a press release around 7:30 in the morning. We haven't received one, so at 1 o'clock today we're not expecting Doug Ford to be on. But if anything changes between now and the end of the show, we will let you know on that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we almost went to the same spot this weekend, which was Bathtub Island, which is, I guess you'd say, about an hour and 45 north of here?
I'd say, right?
Yeah.
You kind of got to know where you're going to find it, right? It's like one of those things that it's tricky, The first time I went there, we actually...
Did you do the hard route, or did you go along the side of the road?
Along the side of the road, but I think we went further than we were supposed to. And last year when Nathan's mom was in town, my partner, we brought her there, right, to show she's from Newfoundland. And we had fun with that.
Yeah, we decided we would try the what they called the adventurous route first.
Okay.
Which is basically wandering through the woods and trying to walk along rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
Which kind of follows the shoreline. And then we got about halfway, and I guess there had been a major rainstorm recently, and the trail got washed out, and there was about a 12 to 15 foot drop.
Oof.
So then we're like, what are we going to do here? Because we couldn't get down. It would be jumping down 10, 12 feet
right.
at least, if not more. So we were kind of like, okay, we're going to go back. So then we had to go back the way that we came, and then crawl over everything again. And then we got up to the road and just walked along the road and found this very easy, nice path that you can just walk down.
There is a path alongside, yeah.
Yeah.
And once you get into it, it's kind of marked. I did actually, I think I saw some photos. On your girlfriend's Instagram there, and it looked like it was pretty busy.
It was super busy.
Did you go Saturday or Sunday?
Even when we were walking out from the beach to Bathtub Island, when we got out to the island, it's not a far walk. It's 5 minutes in the water, but if there wasn't water, you'd do it in under 2. But we got out there, and it was packed. It was full. Yeah, but I've never seen that color water in Ontario before. It had a tropical, it looked like water from down in Miami. It had this sort of turquoisey tropical look to it. And it was so clear. You could see right down the bottom on the other side of the island where it's really deep.
Yeah.
Part of the, the allure of Bathtub Island is you can walk out basically on a sandbar.
It is. It's not too deep there.
Yeah. The bottom of my bathing suit, this much, got wet.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Well,
it's a wonder of nature, basically, because
Lake Superior has
the way the water comes in and then just build it's a sand dune the whole way.
And Lake Superior is so gorgeous, right? There's so many nice spots. We are so lucky to have this. People do come from all over the world when they're traveling just to just go through northern Ontario and that region. Between here and Wawa, there's so many places to stop.
Oh yeah.
And there's so many beaches, whether you're going to Pancake Bay or Batchewana, Harmony. You stop for an apple fritter at Voyageur Lodge, where I know you like to go.
Oh yeah, I love that place.
Yeah.
The other thing too is when we got there, we went I went back to the car to grab some stuff, and then I drove the car from the parking lot over to where the path is.
Okay.
Off the road.
Yeah.
And down into sort of the gully on the side, and there was 2 cars parked there at this point in time. Well, when we came back out, it was lined up not only on the side where I parked, but people had parked along the other side.
Right.
But it was down in the valley.
Right.
So the road that you would normally, I'm using the word road loosely, the path that you normally would take your car up, someone had just blocked it.
Oh.
So I had to back way, way far up and then try a different spot that kind of looked like a path, but it was quite... I was like, uh-oh, because there was this one spot where it actually looks like where people drive up, and someone had blocked it for everybody.
Did you go on Saturday on the hot day?
I was on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday was the hot day.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, it was really, that was our, high UV index day, so.
Yeah, okay, now it's for some local news. Over the weekend, there was a float plane crash, and this was at Upper Island Lake, which is near Sault Ste. Marie, obviously. Both the pilot and the passenger survived. Local residents actually saved them before the police were able to get there. Some local residents acted very quickly. The OP people to thank those residents, by the way. And both the people in the plane are fine. They had minor injuries, which is lucky with a plane crash. I mean, it was lucky they hit the water, and there was people there to rescue them immediately. But they went to the local hospital, and they only had minor injuries, which is pretty amazing when you think of a plane crash, particularly one of those planes, because there's not much to them. I mean, there's like this much metal separating you from the outside world.
And depending on where you crash or how high up you are, where, the factors in play. Yes, they are very lucky. And it's a good thing that we didn't see any.
Yeah,
tragedy.
It's amazing that you can have a plane crash and only have minor injuries.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. So you got some Ontario numbers for us?
Yeah. So we had for yesterday, 116 new cases for COVID-19 in the province. So we are kind of up. We're fluctuating a little bit, right? We go up a little. We haven't been under 100 since those 2 days, but the overall rolling average is pretty good, and we are seeing less and less people in hospital.
Yeah, over the weekend
there was one death,
pretty good,
unfortunately, but we aren't seeing those high. And this is with stage 3 and with things opening up.
Yeah, I mean the only place that isn't stage 3 now is Windsor, Essex.
That's right.
The rest of the province is all stage 3.
Yeah.
So.
And they may at the end of the week. We'll see. Maybe they'll get their go ahead, but it all depends on how things go over the next little while.
Yeah, the problem, there's been a bit of a flare-up in Ottawa area as well, and so they're looking at that as well. I mean, there's no talk of moving Ottawa back to stage 2, but they are slightly concerned right now because Ottawa's numbers have been up over the last 4 or 5 days.
Right.
In the double digits when Ottawa wasn't prior to that.
Right. Even somewhere like Sudbury that's having a few cases, right?
Yeah, because Sudbury is they had like 13 cases in 4 days last week, something like that.
That's right. That's right.
So it is looking like COVID-19 there's little flare-ups here and there, but with contact tracing, and there's that new app. I actually downloaded this weekend. It's called COVID Alert. You can find it in the App Store.
Yeah.
And all you do is you download the app.
Yeah.
You just give it permission to use your Bluetooth, and you leave your Bluetooth on, and then every single person you walk by, it pings off of their Bluetooth. Now, it doesn't take any of your personal information. Like, it didn't even ask me to put in my phone number or name or anything.
It just runs.
It just runs. And then what happens is, let's say I walk by someone at a store here in town, and 2 weeks from that, they test positive for COVID-19.
Right.
I will get an alert onto my phone telling me to get tested because I've been near someone who is positive with COVID-19.
Yes.
Within a time period, within that 2 week time period.
Right.
So I think it's a great idea. Both my girlfriend and I put it on our phones this weekend, and it's just another layer of protection. And it really helps with what is most important with COVID-19, particularly in stage 3 and where we are in Ontario, is that contact tracing.
Yes.
Because that contact tracing is how you isolate individuals who've been exposed. Now, before, it was only with contact tracing, it was kind of like, okay, well, if you were going to work, they'd test everyone at your work. If you, people you live with or people you had seen last a little while. But if you're walking by a random person in a store, how do you know that person a couple,
so if your
10
phone
days
pings
later
and lets
is,
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So this is a way that they can really do contact tracing. Well, I think particularly this will be very important coming the fall if we see a second wave, because the faster you can nip those outbreaks and make them as small as possible and isolate them, the better we're all going to be come this winter when we hit flu season.
And that's open to anybody in Ontario at this point to download it. And then the rest of the country, you will see it, eventually as they test it here. But we are the largest province, right, with almost 15 million people, so they're going to get a bulk of the testing and done here, right, where they can try it out. So.
Yeah, and this app. Right now, like I said, it's just Ontario, but it is a Government of Canada app, and it should be noted that other countries' governments have tried to create one of these apps and failed. Like the UK did, they tried it for like 2 months, failed, then they started using a different app that Google had created. But our government is actually one of the first in the world to actually create an app that seems to actually be working, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Once again, Canadian healthcare is keeping us safe because we have sort of a centralized system with it being public healthcare and public health units, and everything's coordinated. And we're kind of seeing the difference between an uncoordinated system in America and a coordinated system in Canada. So what do we got going on for weather coming up?
Yeah, so good morning again, everybody who's watching. The weather, we're going to see probably some clouds, some suns today, some sun rather. You're going to see the live view of our downtown waterfront camera, which is sponsored by wirelesscom.ca. As you can see, there is some cloud. The temperature is not going to skyrocket today. It is going to be below seasonal for a couple days, but we are going to see an increase in temperatures to later on in the week. When we come back from this break, I will have your full weather forecast details. It's Monday. Give me a break here with the tongue twisting. So full weather forecast details and your regional temperatures when we come right back. Stay tuned.
That 1 in 3 people are affected by fire in their lifetime? Or that 1 in 3 fire deaths happen in homes with no working smoke alarms? You may have just seconds to safely escape a fire in your home. That's why early detection of fire is absolutely vital. Only working smoke alarms provide those precious seconds you and your family need to safely escape. Install smoke alarms on every story and outside all sleeping areas of your home. For added protection, install a smoke alarm in every bedroom. Test smoke alarms monthly by pressing the test button. If the alarm doesn't sound, install a new battery. Replace alarm batteries at least once a year and whenever the low battery warning chirps. And if the alarm still doesn't sound, replace the alarm with a new one. Smoke alarms have an expiry date. Remember to check the back of the smoke alarm for dates of manufacture. Replacement is within the time frame on the manufacturer's instructions. In most cases, 7 to 10 years. Always replace expired alarms. Remember, it's the law in Ontario to have working smoke alarms on every story of your home and outside all sleeping areas. Failure to comply with the Ontario Fire Code requirements could result in a fine or even jail time. So protect yourself and your loved ones by ensuring that all your smoke alarms are functional and up to code. For more fire safety information, please visit www.saultsaintmarie.ca/firesafe.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
Good morning. Welcome to Special Report for Monday, August the 3rd. I'd like to thank KC Securities for their sponsorship of Special Report, both at 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. each day. So far, we have not had any press release that Doug Ford is going to be doing an announcement at 1 p.m. However, we do have Daniel here for our weather. What's going on for the next 3 days, Daniel?
Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, I scooted over to the weather studio here. Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday if you are off enjoying the holiday. You know, you probably had a good day on Saturday like Chris did there to go up to a beach or check something out like that. Now, the cooler weather has kind of come in the seasonal weather here. You're going to see on the radar, we don't have a whole lot going on. Like, there's a low pressure system here that's just passed through. We did see some showers overnight. There was, if your car might have a few showers on it if you when you come outside this morning. Now, there's a few clouds. We are going to see some overcast over the next few days. Then the sun's going to come back and the temperatures are going to bump back up into the high 20s by the weekend. So that's a quick look at your radar. And your expected highs for today in the region are 21 in Thunder Bay, 19 in Wawa, 18 in Timmins, the cool spot today, 20 here in Sault Ste. Marie as well as in Elliott Lake, and 19 in Sudbury. And there will not be a humidex factor today. And your expected lows for overnight, it's going to be a cool one in some of our regions. 11 in Thunder Bay, 10 degrees in Wawa, 9 in Timmins, you're going to see single digits, and then 14 across the board in Sault Ste. Marie, Elliott Lake, and Sudbury. All right, so the current temperature out there right now is 14 degrees, as you saw in the wireless.com wirelesscom.ca rather, camera. It was a couple clouds, some sun. We're going to see high of 20. That will hopefully clear out, and you will see only a humidex of 21 as mentioned. And winds will be 18 kilometers to the northwest, so that's a cool breeze, and you will see gusts up to 35 kilometers an hour. It was breezy last night too, depending on where you were. We will see a low of 14 degrees overnight, remaining clear. Then getting into Tuesday, those seasonal temperatures below seasonal by a couple degrees continue. You're seeing mainly sunny with a few clouds on Tuesday, high of 21 and a low of 15. Wednesday as well, the sun will make its appearance, but there will still be some lingering clouds, a high of 20 and a low of 14 as well. Now, Thursday, here you go. There's where that sun and that heat is coming back. We are going to see a bit of humidity creep up for the weekend. High of 26 on Thursday and a low of 17. And our record high today was 32.1. We're not going to see that temperature, but like I said, we'll get a few days of a bit of relief from the heat, and then it will pick up coming later on in the week. So I want to remind everybody to like us on Facebook at SiouxOnline.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can search in YouTube to Sioux Online on TV, or you can go to the SiouxOnline.com website and click subscribe and like the pages from there. I'll be back in a bit with Chris, but I'm going to send it back over to him.
Thank you very much, Daniel, for that. Letting us know what the next 3 days are going to be like. And Daniel will be back later in the show with your 7-day forecast. Well, I'd like to say good morning to Nicole and Juliana and Nancy. Thank you very much for watching the show. You can interact with us live on Facebook, and we can say good morning to you or do birthday shout-outs and so on. However, someone on Friday night had a fantastically lucky night. The Lotto Max jackpot had grown to $70 million, and there is one person with a winning ticket for that $70 million, and it was sold somewhere in the province of Ontario. So congratulations to that person who has yet to claim their $70 million, but somebody's about to be pretty happy. There was also 18 max million prizes, which are $1 million each, and 6 of those were won as well. So there's 6 new millionaires and 1 new $70 million person in Ontario. The next Lotto Max jackpot will be at $26 million for the top prize, and that will be on Tuesday, August the 4th. Well, thank you very much. We'll be right back after this short break.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road, a few sharp turns, and doing things for what we adore but might regret later? A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
A message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
welcome back to Special Report for Monday, August the 3rd. We got another Facebook shout out. Good morning to Marilyn, and also want to wish a friend of mine from high school who watches the show, Michelle Meadows. It is her birthday today as well. And also, I'd like to thank KC Securities for sponsoring the show. And we had some unfortunate news over this weekend.
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, so on August 1st at 9:15 p.m., officers from Manitoulin Detachment of the Ontario Provincial Police and Sudbury Manitoulin Emergency Medical Services responded to a report of a possible drowning in Pike Lake, which is in Howland Township. So investigation revealed the person had been observed fishing, and a short time later witnesses saw the boat drifting and subsequently found the person floating. He was not wearing a life jacket. This is where the life jacket safety comes in to be very important. The individual was transported to hospital by ambulance where he's pronounced deceased, and he's been identified as Bradley Alston, age 28, from Little Current. And there's no foul play suspected, but this is, again, the importance of life jackets.
It's so easy to wear a life jacket, too.
Yeah.
That's...
And even if you're experienced, a swimmer, you know what?
But if you hit your head and you're unconscious, like maybe a wave came along and whacked the boat and he hit his head and then...
and actually speaking of this, and I was out in the evening last night at Richard's Landing in St. Joseph Island. We went out there for a drive and a walk and all that, and when we got there was some action with the fire department there, which is not normally a quiet time, right? And so we were trying to figure out what was going on, and it looks like a boat went out and capsized, and they had to bring them back in. Everybody was fine, but it seemed like inexperienced boaters once again. So, and no, I don't know if they were wearing life jackets. So this is important when you're out, and it was really windy and wavy out there.
I believe you get fined if you're not wearing a life jacket.
You do,
correct?
Yeah. And so that's, and then of course you're tying up all these medical emergency services.
Yeah, they could have been doing something else.
If they actually had
if there was something else for them to do,
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they're busy. I know that Friday I was walking downtown and the police were there for someone who was unresponsive. The ambulance hadn't got there at the time because the police had just arrived on the scene.
Right.
But yeah, don't unnecessarily tie up our any of our emergency services with simple
Something
things like
can be
wearing a
preventative.
life jacket.
Yeah.
So that they can get to someone who is unresponsive for unknown reason, as opposed to just not wearing a life jacket.
That's right.
Okay, speaking of people passing away, another incident. This time it was 3 people were cliff diving in the French River on Saturday. This happened Saturday night around 5:30. 3 people jumped off a 10-meter rock face into the water. Only 2 came up. The first 2 people were fine. A third man must have hit his head at some point under the water, and he eventually resurfaced. But by the time he had resurfaced, he was not breathing, and then he was taken and airlifted to the hospital and pronounced dead there.
Right.
His name is Brett Haynes. Police say foul play is not suspected at all. However, the chief coroner is going to investigate. Okay, and this was a massive story when it happened. Which was when the Twitter accounts of Obama and Biden and Elon Musk and all these people got hacked, and then there was this Bitcoin scam connected to it.
Yep.
Well, it turns out that the individuals responsible for this are actually quite young, including one that's so young can't even be identified.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the FBI, the IRS, the U.S. Secret Service, and Florida law enforcement placed a 17-year-old from Tampa under arrest. He was the mastermind. However, he was also helped by a 22-year-old, a 19-year-old, and another person underage as well in California. And basically, they hacked all of these accounts and tried to get people to donate Bitcoin money to him. But it was foiled, didn't happen, and they've now found the people who were actually responsible. So, but yeah, they were super young. Wow. I wish I was that smart at 17. Well, maybe not.
Put that to something else to be productive.
I'd be smart at something else. Okay, we gotta go to a commercial break. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. Hold tight.
Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Thank you very much and welcome back to Special Report on this holiday Monday. I'm here with Chris Oldcorn, and a thank you to KC Security for sponsoring the show. Got to give them a shout out. They do a good job, as you know, and we had a great time this weekend. We were able to also meet up with some local police and kind of go over some things, so it's been great. We had some good interactions this weekend, so thank you to KC Security. All right, I'm going to get into the Weather Watcher now for you guys. This video that's going to come up on your screen was sent in actually by our owners here at Superior Media, and the loons are going crazy out on the lake there. They are calling and just having a great time. It was Saturday morning. It was a beautiful shot. There's some fog or some mist coming up off the lake, so it was a beautiful morning. So thank you very much for sending that in to us, Bruce. And the weather email that you can send your weather photos and videos to is ontvweather@gmail.com. Include your name and location so I know where you're sending it from. And you could send it from anywhere in Canada or anywhere you are, actually, because we have viewers all over the place, and we'll get it up. All right, so for the 7-day outlook, you're going to see some sun, on Thursday and Friday. It's going to come back. The temperatures are going to bump up. That will be a good weekend once again to get out to the beach. 26, 27 degrees, and then that's going to continue into next week. We may see a thunderstorm on Monday, and your overnight lows are between 14 and 18 degrees, so it will bump back up again. Just get through these couple of seasonal days, Chris, and then we'll have a nice weekend to enjoy.
Yeah, I hope so. I like it when the weekends are nice. This past weekend, at least Saturday, was pretty good. So
yeah, it was. You
wasn't a good weekend for the Leafs, though. And we don't mean the Leafs that you just saw in the picture there. We're talking the Maple Leafs.
Yes, the Maple Leafs.
First part of their playoffs.
They've got. So they had since late May. They knew they were going to play the Columbus Blue Jackets.
They've had some time to prep.
They've had some time to prepare, and they still didn't come through at the end. And those poor Leafs fans. I mean, you're thinking maybe this might be your year because it's an off year, right?
Yeah.
And they lost 2-0 on Sunday, and they didn't even get a goal.
Yeah, and this is a best-of-5 series too. So if they lose the next game, they're really going to be behind the 8 ball on that one.
I know people are happy to have the hockey back, and my team isn't even in.
It seems weird with the empty seats, though.
Yeah. Do you hear them make the fan noises though? Like they make. I don't think the fans can hear that, but if you're watching a game, you can actually. It sounds pretty real. You hear the fan noises.
Well, they're probably using similar noises to what you would see when you're playing like the video game.
The video game, yes.
Yeah, like
EA Sports is actually involved in that. And
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be weird watching all these sports with empty stadiums for the next little while, and it must be weird as a player as well to actually be in an arena where you're used to having 20,000 plus people screaming and yelling and cheering, and just nothing.
Yeah.
But we've got to go, so we will see you back here later today for the evening news and also my show at 7 p.m. And thank you very much, Daniel, for co-hosting with me today. Have a fantastic morning, Sault Ste. Marie.
Take care, everyone.